Morning! Let's bake some bread. There is two things that I'm trying today. One, I'm baking in a loaf pan, which if you don't know what that looks like, I'll show you. This may or may not work. We're gonna find out. And two is yesterday I decided to add milk into my hydration process for my sourdough. Not a lot, just about like 20 to 30%. So yeah. Also, I'll be baking two types of bread today. I will be making a sourdough loaf, and then I will be doing sourdough French bread. All right, so let's grab the... I look crazy, I know. I slept in, and I didn't even give myself time to get ready this morning because I was like, bread. All right.
I didn't understand that.
Is what we are working with. I did an overnight proof and I used Lievito Madre, which if you don't know what that is, it's a stiff starter, not as liquidy as a regular starter would be, and it's made with fruit water instead of regular water. And if you guys want to know how that works, what are you doing? Morning? Okay, so I'm going to lay out my wax paper. I completely forgot to. If you guys are curious about fruit water and you need to know how to make it, just let me know and I will guide you through the steps. And I'll also help you figure out how to make Lievito Madre, which is fairly easy. It's just a 2-1-2 ratio. So, also make sure that you turn on your oven and that it's preheating, which I did not do. For like 30 minutes. You also want to preheat your Dutch oven if that's what you're going to do. I'm not. I'm going to do an open bake for my French bread and an open bake for the sourdough loaf. This is going to be our loaf. That came off perfectly. This is where we are going to actually score our sourdough. I'm going to get the pan ready. Probably don't want to use this pan because it's quite larger. I'm kind of curious though. I kind of want to bake it in here and see how it expands. So I'm going to do it. Yep, I'm going to do it.
All right.
People that are sourdough like professionals are probably going crazy right now because I'm doing literally probably everything that you shouldn't do with sourdough. Maybe I'm not, I don't know. So we'll see. Sure to dust it. I'm just gonna do a score down the middle. Nothing crazy. That's what we're working with. For our French bread, I have to shape them. I think I'll make 2 loaves because I have enough. I think they might not be huge, but they're gonna be loaves. You don't have to weigh out your dough. I would say just eyeball it and cut it down the middle. If you're doing this, if you're doing French bread, that is. Stretch these out into the typical rectangles that we do, and then we're going to do the fold. And then I'm going to show you how we shape it into the French bread. I'm sure someone's going to have something to say about how I did this wrong or whatever. I'm still learning. Give me a break, okay? I'm sorry if I don't do it justice. so far is you don't want like enormous bubbles in your bread for French bread. You still want the bubbles, but you just don't want huge ones because it'll make it obviously hard to like spread things on it and dip things. So you want to make sure that you're going in there and you're just kind of popping some of these huge bubbles on the outside. And then when you're rolling the dough, you just want to take it from the one side and press it in. Do the typical like kind of stretch and the typical fold that you would do when you're spreading out your dough, but you're going to be pressing it in each time until you kind of get like a perfectly shaped loaf bread thingy. Yeah. Anyways, it should start looking like this. And then we're just going to keep pressing in. I'm going to put this microphone down. Tie up our sides, ends. That is. We're going to turn it over and I'm going to put a little bit more flour down so that it's not sticky. And what you want to do is roll it out from the middle so that it starts elongating. All right, she's shaped. I'm going to turn her over to the side that does not have the fold. And I'm just going to flour and score. And when you score French bread, you don't really want to, I don't know if you can hear my son. You don't really want to score in a way that's like all the way across the bread. You want to kind of score it down so that it can expand properly without making the bread kind of like oddly shaped. So I made 4 scores into the bread. All right, so I'm going to repeat this for the second loaf and I'll show you the end result. So I'll be back later. See how it's like opening up pretty nice. So I'm going to put that back on. All right, and we're taking the top off. This is what we're looking at. So I put a thermometer in just to check how the temperature is on the bread, and my aim was for 200. And this is what they look like. Time to cut into this bread. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And then here is the French bread. This is the first loaf. And then French bread number 2. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like and a follow. And post in the comments some of your bread.